On team, it's really great to be back with you guys once again. I know I haven't uploaded one of these in quite a while, given that I have a lot going on currently. I'm working on an ebook. I'm working on an ebook that's going to be a game changer, given that I've been giving it my all. I've been putting all the information and all the knowledge that I myself have gathered throughout these 6 years of my trading experience. Given that there's so much information available out there on the internet, so it's quite easy for you to get lost in a trading type of setup or something that used to work back then that is no longer relevant or that is no longer working at currently, like at the moment. So which is something that I took so many years personally. I wasted so many years learning selling strategy and backtesting different strategies, thinking that okay, this strategy is actually gonna work, when it's all about hype and it's not something that actually works anymore. Given that one thing that you need to understand is that 90% of other traders are getting the same information as you are getting as well out here in the internet. Sorry, they make everything free. Obviously it seems free, but it no longer works. It's no longer relevant, given that if everyone else is seeing the same thing, if everyone else is executing around the same price point, then what's the difference? Obviously you guys are going to get trapped, you guys are going to get snatched at the same price point, because the way you are viewing the market, the way you are approaching your confirmation, your setups is the same setups as 90% of other traders. So this is something that you need to understand. Not all of us can be winning, and if all of us are approaching the same way, that means that price is meant to go against it, because this is a business and there's always someone on the other side of the screen keeping track, checking the orders, which we call the market makers, of course. Therefore, with that being said, it is essential that you approach the market in a way that is different from 90% to 80% of other traders, that you have a unique approach. And since you can't really see what other traders are seeing, how can you do that? There is a method, which is a different method that you can approach the markets and recognize these trade patterns that they make. This is something that I am going to be putting on the book that I made. Currently, I've made like 60% of it done. I am left with 40% of the content. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so that you can join the Telegram and Discord or the waiting list as well for the ebook. When soon as it's going to be released, as soon as it's going to be live, obviously I'm going to be making a limited edition, like only for a certain number of individuals, given that this is an information that I myself took a while. Like imagine you spend your time 5-6 years working on something, 5 and 6 years trying to better yourself on something, and then you just give it out there, right? Obviously I'm going to be giving it to you guys, but it's something valuable, so anything of valuable comes at a cost, obviously, so you can't just give it out there. Anyways, that's why I decided that obviously, as I'm going to be giving out there this information and this ebook with all of the knowledge that I've learned myself over the period of years, I'm also going to be making it limited because I don't want everyone to get access to it as well. Anyways, I'm probably think I'm gonna make it live for a month or so. We see from there. So without any further ado, let us dive straight to the charts. So for today, what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to be giving a quick market breakdown, where I'm just going to be looking over the week, over the setups and what made us take these setups. We only took like one setup this week, two actually, yeah, this week. So I'm just going to be showing you guys what made me take the trade, and all of the information which I'm sharing right here is also in the book and more in depth with all the rules, all the things that most people don't share online. It's all there, and with the lots of other benefits that I'm going to be incorporating in this ebook only for the book owners, given that I'm trying to map out the noise, and I'm only trying to get those who are serious in the business, and I'm only trying to get those who are really committed to come and we build a community, a separate community, which I've already named it the Awakening, which is going to be a community of book owners only. And in this community of book owners, you're going to get a lot of benefits and a lot of things that other people that are not getting, like access to my auto trading system. I think I'm going to be giving a lifetime. I'm still thinking. Probably my copy trading, which I've set up as well. I haven't made it public, but I'm thinking I'm going to be making public for the book owners first, for a period of 6-7 months, maybe a year, given that I'm not in a rush. But I might there's a lot of benefits that I will be giving to the book owners, obviously, and also perhaps we're going to be doing a one live session every week where we analyze together. And then essentially, since I don't have the time to do mentorship, maybe in the near future I will launch the mentorship, so the book owners will actually be the first ones also to get access to all of these different systems and all of these different opportunities as well. So without any further ado, let us dive straight to the charts. So currently we are looking at GU. So GU, we can see that price had been coming from the downside, which is somewhere around this point over here, and from the downside we can see this was level 3. Price initially was coming from the high. So if you look at the high, let me just remove the EMAs so I can just box this in for you guys real quickly. So if you look at the high, from what we can see is that price was coming from here. So this is our peak formation high, and from our peak formation high we had our level 1 consolidation. Let me make it black, and then after making this black, let me just write 1. And then from our level 1, which was our first week of drop, we have our level 2, and we have our consolidation as well. And then from our level 2, which was our second week drop, we have our level 3, which is this one over here. So from what you can see right now, you can see that this same pattern can happen on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, in a period of 3 weeks or whatever. You know what? It's 333. The magic number is 3. So you can use it to trade short term, or you can also use it to trade long term. So let us go behind a little bit so that you guys can check a few things. Look at this. This is the kind of setups that we already look at. We know that we identified our peak formation high, which is over here. So from our peak formation high, we're now expecting some sort of confirmation so that we can take the trade to the downside. So we're expecting what? Stop and high drop, which is something like this. We're expecting stop and high drop. So any movement to the high drop in the perfect timing, according to the perfect timing, validating our trades, and we should also be able to see the patterns and the candle confirmations as well. So all of these confirmations, if you use them together, this is what separates you from the other people. This is what separates you from 90%, 80% of the other ones. You wait for the proper confirmation before you enter. You can see here we have like what? We have an M pattern. You can see our price hit the high. First time hit the high, second time. And also you can see how price gave us 1, 2, 3 pushes to the high to induce traders, induce like breakout traders to take and follow the wrong move. They will probably start buying. It will be like it's buying. You know how the breakout traders usually trade the Asian breakout or something of that sort. So you see price breaking, and they would be interested in entering this setup over here, and they get snatched up and price go against them. So this is the M formation. The second leg touch is to validate, and for breakout traders to think that this is a continuation to the high side. That's why what they do is they break, they come, see how they retested this area over here, then came up. So for breakout traders, they are seeing the move. I think you guys call it the ABC move. So this is what they are seeing right now, and this is how they end up like executing trades. And the next thing is they set a pin to the high, boom, and snatch price against them. So this is something that you should be aware now that you are changing your method of trading. This one, unfortunately, we did not enter because we were late to the party, as price moved already. And honestly, we don't like to have a very large stop loss. We like our stop loss to be quite small and quite short. Like in this case scenario here, we ended up entering this trade here. We call this the Brinks trade. And what's the Brinks trade? The Brinks trade is if the reversal candle of pattern comes at the 3:45 a.m. in the morning, which is something that I explained in depth and in detail in the ebook that I'm launching. So with the Brinks trade, you can see over here price came up here 3:30, 3:45, we got an engulfing candle over here, a rejection. And if you use the EMAs, you can see that price actually hit a pin to the EMA, which is another confirmation, and it's above the Asia, which is another confirmation as well. So by combining all these confirmations, all these things, you can actually have a proper trading strategy. So not based on only one thing, you have different things. Basically, you are able to adapt to the market. If it shows your high side, you take it. If it shows your sell side, you take it as well. So this is something that sets you apart and keeps you ahead of 90% of other people. So this is why this method of approach is so different from the other ones. Obviously, let me remove the EMAs as well. I don't like the noise. For your guys' sake, I myself can see it, but for you guys, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be quite confusing. So this was a sell side, and as you can see, let me just show you guys how many pips this was. So 11 pips stop, which goes above the high, and we booked about 50 pips TP, which is like, wow, 1:3, 1:4, 1:4, yeah, 1:4 or so, 1:4, 1:5. I don't know how to be honest at this point. All this concept confuses me. Anyways, we had another trade that we took again, which was over here. You can see that this setup is pretty much the same setup that happened over here. They hit the high first time, they hit the high second time. So if we come over here, we can see that this is the exact setup that they did again. You cannot give me the same setup twice. You cannot do that. I'm going to take it eventually. Obviously, they came out of the Asia again. They hit the high for the first time and closed below the 13 EMA. That's when I ended up executing over here, and our stop was above the high, and price ended up coming back a little bit. We saw a little bit of drawdown, but it's fine. It wasn't even that much. How many pips drawdown is this? Like 7 pips drawdown only. Then price went straight ahead and gave us about like a huge return. We collected about 70 pips from this trade. Which other strategy that can allow you to do this effectively with this kind of low risk, which means you can risk up to 2, 3, 4, 5% in a single trade with a stop like this. If you know that your stop is low, you can now increase your lot size, knowing that you are still adhering to the same strategy, and you're still adhering to the same risk reward ratios that you usually adhere to. So from this point, we can see that price dropped, and having price dropped, we can see that this was now our level 3. If you go to the bigger picture, we can identify that we had level 1, level 2, now level 3, and from level 3 we had days of consolidation. Price was just consolidating. Now we had level 1 this week. We were unable to cash or book some profit on level 1, given that we missed that entry, but it was like such a clear entry. You can see how like the opposite of what happens, the opposite of the M is the W pattern, which is somewhere over here. You can see the W pattern right here, and then price went to the high, and price giving us that high side, and we had the EMA as well as confirmation to fake out and induce traders, since like traders would be like, oh, it broke, it's now below the EMA, it's sell. They used that against them. They threw a pin, but they couldn't close below the previous low, and then they reversed price against them, keeping them trapped and in the wrong segment of the market. So at this point over here, you can see that price went high. You could have entered a buy setup over here, and you would have booked some solid profit. Anyways, they did not give us that entry, but we got another entry on Wednesday. So the entry that we got on Wednesday was quite easy. We knew that price was currently standing at level 2. Let me just book this. Price was currently at level 2, and knowing that price is currently at level 2, what we are looking at is some sort of pullback or some sort of like retest. It could be the retest of the Asian high, it could be the retest of the Asian midline, and the retest of the Asian low. It could be at the session. Also, it should be according to the session timing, in line with the session timings. Like obviously we knew that we were now at the London end. This was like what, 9:30. We knew that we're now beginning the New York Open. This is where they trap traded. So when we saw this pin bar over here that they ended up giving us. Price gave us this huge pin to the Asian midline and failed to close below. Gave us this pin. We knew that, okay, fine, we are going to be taking a buy setup over here, keeping our stop loss at the low. And on this specific one, we managed to, the stop loss was 10 pips. Our TP was 30 pips, 37 pips, which was like 3.5 or something of that sort. Risk reward ratio, we got a solid profit on this one, and we managed to book in a matter of just let me see, about in a matter of an hour to 2 hours we managed to book. We were in and out of the trade quickly. So right now, from what we can see, today being Thursday, price gave us our level 1, level 2. This is our level 3. We can see that price has already started reversing. Therefore, now we are currently looking for sell setups. We don't know yet if this might be level 3, this whole level, or this right here, this is level 3. So we are going to be keeping track of this pair and just see how price is going to be moving. Maybe perhaps we might want to consolidate over a number of days, given that today is Thursday, and maybe tomorrow, Friday, reverse and close somewhere around this area over here, given that this is the area that price actually opened. Sorry for my drawing, guys, I failed art class. So this is it, guys. I just wanted to give you guys an in-depth, not really in-depth, given that I was in a rush today and I was kind of rushing. I'm also going to be making a video where I'm going to slowly break down and actually analyze and actually explain this in detail. But the video is only going to be available also for the ebook owners. The link, I'm going to be putting it on the ebook as itself, whereby if you have finished the ebook, at the end it's going to come as a bonus with the benefits. You're going to be finding a link attached where I just explained a bit more how to approach, how to break down, how to begin, which time frame, and it's just going to be one. And then in the near future, I'm going to be launching a one-on-one mentorship as well that you guys can get access to. So guys, thank you guys for showing up. Catch you guys on the next one.